Okay guys, we're going to do a 8.2 review, Properties of Parallelograms. So first thing, when we talk about parallelogram, a parallelogram has two sets of parallel sides. As you can see, these two are running parallel and these two are running parallel. So something else that means is the opposite sides are congruent. That means this value should equal that value. So if this side was 10, this side should also be 10. Next stop is opposite angles are congruent. So opposite angles, such like this in this parallelogram, these opposite angles will always be equal. Same thing as going for if I have this angle and this angle. They're opposite, so they are congruent. They're equal. So when we jump down here, and we go through this problem, it says find the value of x and find the value of y. So first thing, we look at the sides. Let's see, we found our x. Okay, we know this side runs parallel to this one. So we know that those two should equal. So the way I can set it up is 25 equals x plus 8. Next is I go through and I subtract 8 from both sides and I get x equals 17. Lastly, I need to solve for y. Well, because this degree is 50, this angle, and opposite of it is y, that means y is also equal to 50. Okay, so next thing about parallelograms. So we got two more. Consecutive angles are supplementary. That means if they're supplementary, you guys should know this already, they add up to equal 180. So I hope you guessed that right. So here we go. In this problem, we see that these two are not opposite of each other. So these two would equal, but this one is consecutive to this degree. So the way we set it up is 60 plus x equals 180, because if they are consecutive, they are supplementary. So you go ahead and solve, subtract 60 from both sides, and x should equal 120. Next, last part about it is if there is a diagonal going through a parallelogram, they bisect each other. So what that means is if I have a diagonal going through this parallelogram, that means they bisect each other. And the word bisect means that it will cut each part of this segment in two equal parts. So this diagonal cuts this one in two equal parts. So 3m should equal 15. Then you go through and you solve for what it asked you for. What is the value of m? Well, the value of m is 5. So we're going to go through a couple of problems that maybe you could work out by yourself. So when I say solve, go ahead and pause your video and solve and see if you come up with the correct answer. So first question, find the value of z in rhombus y, x, y, z. Y, x, y, z, or v. So first thing you do is ask whether these are consecutive or opposite. And then go through, set it up, and solve. So pause the video now, see if you can get it. Okay, so 4z and 2z plus 18. Those are consecutive. So that means they are supplementary. So you go through and you set it up as equal to 180. 4z plus 2z plus 18 equals 180. Combine like terms first and then go through and solve. So 6z plus 18 should equal 180. Subtract 18 from both sides. 6z equals 162. The last step is divide by 6 on both sides. 162 divided by 6 is equal to a value of 27. I hope you guys got that right. I'm sure you did. Okay, the last problem I'm going to go through is number 2. Find the value of t. This is a rhombus. This reads 2t, and this reads t plus 65. So take a second and see if you can solve for it. Pause the video, and then I'm going to explain. Okay, so hopefully you went through and solved it. So these are they consecutive or opposite? If they're opposite or diagonal to each other, then they are equal. So you should have wrote 2t equals t plus 65. Now we need to go through and solve. What you do is you add or subtract to combine like terms. And here we have our t's in common. So the first thing you should have done is subtract 1t from both sides. Then you should have gotten 1t equals 65. Hope this helps. Please drop comments underneath the video if you have any questions that you need help with. Hopefully myself or another classmate can help verify those for you.